What's up, everybody? Welcome to Top 10 Character Moments. Today we're breaking down my list for the top 10 best moments of everyone's favorite bounty hunter, Boba Fett. Left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. I just love saying that. Be warned, as there will be spoilers from anything and everything Star Wars in this video. You'll understand what I mean when we get to it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you have already, tell your friends, family, neighbors, let them know that this channel is the place to be. And then tell them to go over to my other YouTube channel called Sector for Nerds, link in the description below, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers over there. So if y'all could help me do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Alright you guys, let's get into some honorable mentions before cracking the top 10, shall we? First up, his return in The Mandalorian. This was a moment we all went crazy for. Seeing a man standing in the desert with a gaffy stick and a cycler rifle, and then for him to turn around for us to see that familiar face, the one and the only Tamara Morrison, it got us all excited to see what's next. Next up, Like a Bantha. Alright, I had to put this one on here. The context of the moment is that Boba is trying to explain to the Tuskens how to ride a speeder bike. The comparison is that it's like riding a bantha.
Like a bantha. Yes.
And finally, his cameo in Jedi Survivor. Remember how I said anything and everything Star Wars when it comes to spoilers? Well, this is it. In a shocking moment during the end of the Bounty Hunter side story, Boba Fett makes an appearance. Not to capture Cal, but to capture her. Cal was like, yeah, that's cool, man, you do what you gotta do. Alright you guys, let's get into the top 10 list itself. You guys ready? Here we go. At number 10, saving Fennec Shan. This to me is a big deal because he pretty much makes a partner for life with this moment. Boba offers her something no other client can give her, and that's loyalty. Since then, it's gone both ways. She stuck with him through thick and thin. At number 9, pulling off a train heist. It's an old school story, but an effective one. I really liked this episode of the Book of Boba Fett. The Pikes are trying to smuggle spice through the sands of Tatooine, and Boba and the Tuskens say, nah, we're putting a stop to that. So they board the train and stop it in its tracks, literally. At number 8, sabotaging a Republic Venator. Back in the days when Boba was a boy, he aligned himself with the bounty hunter Aurra Sing to try and kill the man who killed his father, Mace Windu. When Boba's first attempt to kill Windu fails, he then goes to the reactor room to pretty much destroy the entire ship. He was kinda hesitant in doing it because his problems weren't with the crew of the ship, just the Jedi, but unfortunately Boba had a lot of bad influence at that time. Still, the fact that he was able to destroy an entire cruiser just to try and get to Windu, impressive.
Impressive. Most impressive.
At number 7, taking on Luke Skywalker. I know this was a very brief moment in Return of the Jedi, but I still love it. Especially because both men have their own reputations, and it's like, oh snap, Luke versus Boba? Yes, please. Like I said, it didn't last long as Han Solo unintentionally sabotaged Boba's jetpack. You know what, let's just try and forget about that right now. At number 6, tracking the Millennium Falcon. I just love the idea that Boba decided, you know what, I'm gonna hide my ship in this garbage, and I'm gonna assume that Han knows about the Imperial dumping garbage procedure before hyperspace. To his credit, it paid off and he was indeed able to follow the Falcon and track it to Cloud City. At number 5, being accepted by a Tusken tribe. After successfully completing the train heist with the Tuskens, Boba is inducted in their tribe. They give him new clothes, the same ones we see him wearing when he first appears in The Mandalorian. He then creates his own gaffy stick. I have to shout out the music through this whole scene as well, as it was really good. And then the cherry on top of this delicious sundae is the training/dance sequence at the end of the episode, where Boba and the Tuskens are around the campfire. It starts out with Boba and his Tusken mentor, and then eventually everyone joins in. I would love it if a group of Tusken cosplayers did this at Star Wars Celebration. Just like memorizing all the moves and stuff and just like dancing around in a circle, like that'd be really sick. At number 4, becoming the head of Tatooine. Alright, I'll stop saying it like that, I promise. All he had to do to get it was kill Bib Fortuna. But that visual at the end of that episode with Boba sitting on the throne and Fennec Shand as his right-hand man, or woman in this case, sitting on the edge of the chair with a blaster in one hand and alcohol in the other, so sick. At number 3, taking on the Pikes. Luckily he didn't have to take them on alone. He had Din Djarin there too. By the way, it was about frickin' time these guys used their jetpacks. Felt like we never saw them do it much until this finale episode of the Book of Boba Fett. But Boba was pulling out all the stops using his knee pad rocket darts, which always looks sick, and at one point he even rides a Rancor into battle, which looks cool AF. Let me say that again, Boba Fett rode a freaking Rancor into battle. Doesn't get much better than that, folks. At number 2, defeating / killing Cad Bane. Originally, we were supposed to get an arc between Cad and Boba in the Clone Wars before it got cancelled. Thanks again, Disney. But fast forward how many years later, we get that confrontation in a whole new way. I like that even though Boba isn't a little boy anymore, Bane is still the better gunslinger, but Boba learned a few tricks from his Tusken tribe that help him defeat and kill Bane. He never saw it coming. And finally, at number 1 for my favorite Boba Fett moment, getting his armor back in The Mandalorian. I will never forget how excited I was watching this for the first time. Seeing Boba in his Mandalorian armor and actually getting to use it, amazing. It was after I watched this episode where I finally understood the hype with this guy. Cause for the longest time I thought he was one of the most overrated Star Wars characters. Yeah, he looked cool, but whatever. Everyone looks cool in Mando armor, lol. But like I said, after this episode, I'm like, I get it now. And it made me excited for a Boba Fett series, which I never thought I would ever say that. So there you have it, guys. That's my list for the top 10 best Boba Fett moments. Be sure to stay tuned every Friday for my latest top 10 video. Next week, I'll be breaking down my picks for the top 10 best moments of perhaps the fastest race car ever, Lightning McQueen. Thank you all for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.
Like a panther. Yes?